Go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy to get 20% off your first month of cognitive behavioural therapy, with weekly sessions online with a therapist, in addition to worksheets, a journal, meditation and yoga videos, and unlimited messaging. There's strong evidence that CBT can help people who hoard, and accessing therapy online can be affordable and accessible. Find out more and get your discount at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy.
Normally, being a little extra can be a bit much, but when it comes to healthcare, it pays to be extra. And United Healthcare makes it easy with Health Protector Guard fixed indemnity insurance plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, they supplement your primary plan, helping you manage out-of-pocket costs without the usual requirements and restrictions like deductibles and enrollment periods. So when it comes to covering your medical bills, you can feel good about being a little extra. Visit uh1.com to find the Health Protector Guard plan for you.
Wow!
Nice!
Yeah!
What you're hearing are the sounds of people everywhere putting on Bombas socks, underwear, and T-shirts made from absurdly soft materials that feel like plush clouds. Yeah, that plush. And the best part? For every item you purchase, Bombas donates another to someone facing homelessness.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/ACAST. Code ACAST.
Think of all the sleep hacks you've ever heard. You could spend years trying them all, or you could instantly transform your sleep with Boll & Branch. They make the softest, most breathable bedding you'll ever feel. And it's all 20% off. That's their best sale of the entire season. Millions of sleepers love their buttery soft sheets, airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more. And you can try all of them for 20% off with promo code BUTTERY20. So hurry to bollandbranch.com today. That's BOLL and branch.com. See site for details.
Welcome to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder podcast. I am drowning in stuff and trying to find a way out. Listen as I explore the issues and delve deep as somebody profoundly affected by hoarding disorder. Find out more, including links to subscribe to the podcast, at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk, and follow me on Twitter at ThatHoarder and on Facebook at facebook.com/ThatHoarder. So I'm going to start with a new segment that I suspect will be occasional, and I'm going to share my success of the week and my weird dilemma of the week. My success of the week, fairly obviously, will be something I've achieved that I'm quite proud of, or that was quite difficult. The weird dilemma of the week is part of my ongoing mission to help people understand how weird things can be in a hoarder's brain, and the kind of thought processes we have that explain to some degree why we live like we live. So my success of the week this week is that I cleared the bedside table. Now, the bedside table was a big pile, and I only ever added to it. It started off some years ago as just a normal table, and over time picked up every random bit of paper, bookmark, pen, leaflet, empty packet of whatever, and it was very precarious because of these piles, and so I would put things on top and they would slide off, and it was an ongoing source of stress. And on Saturday I just thought, right, I'm going to clear the bedside table. And I went through it, and unsurprisingly, I suppose, found that I could throw away 85% of it. It was leaflets that had no relevance anymore. It was random bits of paper with some note I'd jotted on them that meant nothing to me anymore. I put the pens. I do have a pen holder, and so I put pens and pencils and that kind of thing in there. And now I have a bedside table that has on it a pen holder with all my pens. It has a space for my water bottle, and that's about it. And I will endeavour, as ever, to keep it clear. That will be difficult, I know this, but I feel proud that I have a clear bedside table. My weird dilemma of the week was some headphones. I found a box that an old phone came in, and I think the reason I kept the box at the time was in case I ever sold the phone. I think I saw on eBay that they went for a bit more if they had the original box. But as it was, I used the phone until it didn't work anymore, so selling it wasn't sensible. So I had this old box, and I decided to throw it away. That was a slight dilemma because it's quite a strong box, so it could potentially be useful. But I decided I was strong. I don't need every strong box I find. Tiny, box big enough for a phone, it could go. And so I checked the contents of the box before I threw it away. And I found a little bag with some headphones in. Now, these were useless to me for two reasons. One is that they are the kind of headphones that go in your ear, and I don't like those. I much prefer headphones that go over your head. So I wasn't going to use them for that reason. The second reason I wasn't going to use them is that they were headphones with a wire, and my current phone doesn't have a socket for wired headphones. So even if I used in-ear headphones, I wouldn't be able to use them anyway. So to any sensible non-hoarding person, they would go straight in the bin or straight in the charity shop bag. But I agonised. What if I should keep them? Because what if my headphones break? And I can surely tolerate in-ear headphones until I get new ones, was one argument. And what if I suddenly decide I want to use headphones with a different device and that does have a headphone socket? So maybe I should keep them for that reason. And I finally thought, no, this is ridiculous. They need to go in the charity shop bag. And I put them in the charity shop bag. And then I went back into the old phone box and found that they had replacement earbud things to go with these headphones. And then this is where it got really ridiculous. I felt like I should keep the replacement earbuds for the headphones I wasn't going to keep. So I put the headphones in the charity shop bag, and I put the replacement buds in my box of kind of techie, wiry things. And then thankfully realised that that was even more ridiculous and threw them away. But yes, that's the kind of weird dilemma a hoarder might have. Keeping some headphones they don't like and couldn't use anyway, just in case of something. So the main topic I want to talk about this week is overwhelm. I get overwhelmed a lot when I try to deal with my hoard. It's one of the key things that holds me back, if I'm honest. If I look at the vastness of the task ahead of me, I just go, oh no, that's impossible. I don't have a chance. There's no point even trying. It shuts me down immediately. Whether that's looking at the house as a whole, or an individual room, or even just an individual pile in an individual room in the house. I just look at it and think I can't possibly manage this. So there's no point trying. I can't possibly do this. It's pointless. What's throwing away a few bags going to do when I'm faced with this? It also, as well as making me give up hope, it also leads to me, if I am determined to do something, I still don't know where to start if I feel overwhelmed. If I look at an entire room of stuff there are so many possible ways to deal with it that I don't know where to start. And not knowing where to start means sometimes that I don't start. I can't break it down enough. Decision fatigue too. Just having to make decision after decision, choice after choice with every item you come across is exhausting and can be a form of overwhelm.
Flexibility is great. That's why there's yoga. Flexibility for your insurance coverage is great too. That's why there's United Healthcare Insurance Plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, United Healthcare Insurance Plans offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage for medical, vision, dental, and more. One of these plans may be right for you if you're, say, between jobs, coming off your parents' plan, turning a side hustle into a full hustle, or even missed open enrollment. Want more flexibility? Find out more about United Healthcare Insurance Plans at uh1.com.
Think of all the sleep hacks you've ever heard. You could spend years trying them all, or you could instantly transform your sleep with Boll & Branch. They make the softest, most breathable bedding you'll ever feel. And it's all 20% off. That's their best sale of the entire season. Millions of sleepers love their buttery soft sheets, airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more. And you can try all of them for 20% off with promo code BUTTERY20. So hurry to bollandbranch.com today. That's BOLL and branch.com. See site for details.
Generally, the thing with hoarding and overwhelm is that it's a sense of having too much to cope with. Sorting out a hoarded home is incredibly difficult. It's a huge job, and overwhelm is massive. And it's something that trips me up regularly, but I have found some tactics that do help. There are two main ones that help me, and maybe they'll help you too. The first one is to break it down. I don't look at the whole house. I don't look at the whole room. I pick a very, very specific task, like clearing the bedside table. I didn't set out to sort out my bedroom. I picked a square foot space and focused on that. And when you're dealing with a bedside table versus dealing with a whole bedroom, it suddenly becomes a lot more manageable. And if I break it down and it's still overwhelming, I break it down further. I might say, okay, I can't do the whole bedside table, but this specific pile on the bedside table, I will deal with that. Or I will pick up 10 items off the bedside table and I will deal with those. If you break it down and you're still overwhelmed, break it down further. If you're still overwhelmed, then break it down further. Even if it ends up being I will pick up one item from the floor and throw it away, it's still progress. The other thing, which is very much related, but the other way I deal with overwhelm is to consciously force my brain to refocus. Even if I'm taking action and I'm having some success, I will still start thinking, yeah, but this is pointless when you look at the entire job that has to be done. And when I start having those thoughts, I just consciously say to myself, even out loud, but usually in my head, no, you're just dealing with this. And just kind of wind myself down, bring myself back into my body, stop freaking out, going, no, you're not tackling the house, you're tackling this chair, this table, this bit of floor. You have to be conscious about it, you have to be deliberate about it, and kind of assertive, just insist on your brain refocusing on a smaller amount of stuff. It's easy to get overwhelmed because hoards are overwhelming, almost by definition. And it's easy to get disheartened when you are overwhelmed. It's a huge trigger for me, and I suspect I'm not alone. But those are the two things that help me most when I do feel that very familiar sense of, oh, this is too much. In just 1 second, I'll give you my top tip of the week. In the meantime, please do subscribe to the podcast Review it. 5 stars would be amazing. And share it with your friends or anyone who might be interested or who might benefit from it. It all really helps. To find out more ways to support the website, the podcast, and my overall de-hoarding project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support. Now, back to your top tip. My top tip of the week is to make lists. When you try and store everything in your head, it gets messy, you forget things, you don't trust that you've remembered everything, you quite possibly haven't remembered everything, and also you can't move on because your brain is trying to remember everything. If you get it down out of your head onto a piece of paper, or ideally I would say your phone, it removes an element of stress because you're not trying to remember everything. Some people prefer lists on paper. I do really, but I also know that paper is one of those things I lose and never see again. And so I normally make lists on my phone. Most smartphones have some kind of notes app or lists app or tasks app, or you can download them from the App Store or the Play Store. Write it all down, every little task, every little one. And the added bonus is that you get the satisfaction of crossing things off the list when you've done them. Everybody agrees that feels great. It's a great thing to do. So thank you for listening, and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding podcast. You can find more online at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk. You can find me on Twitter at @thathoarder and on Facebook at Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder. To find out more about how you can support this podcast and the overall project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support and do subscribe to this podcast so you make sure you don't miss any future episodes.